Nasty, nasty work, Tiffany Hayes. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You are pushing for physical harm and violence on Caitlin Clark because she busted your you-know-what in a basketball game that you was doing a lot of trash talking into. This is nasty work.
Caitlin Clark just stunned the entire WNBA, and her reaction to the fines said everything. She didn't apologize, she didn't retreat, she laughed, shrugged her shoulders, and told the whole league exactly who she is. A superstar looked directly into the cameras, acknowledged she probably owed the league $1,000.
Go out there and play, especially in a game like that where it was a little more intense.
Yeah, it was definitely really physical too. And they're a really good team, and they're really good defensively. And we battled, and I thought we played really great defense, especially in the second half. And thought we got off to a good start, then we kind of dropped a little bit, and then the second half was really, really good and kind of powered us through. I thought we played great one-on-one defense. That was kind of what they were just doing, is hunting ISO, especially on me, like just ISO, top of the key. And we forced them into contested twos. I think they were 4 for 17 in the fourth quarter, so it's a recipe for a win for us. But for me personally, like, it was definitely good to, see my first 2 shots go in and then kind of go from there.
Picture this moment. A reporter leans into the microphone and asks Caitlin Clark about the technical foul from the first half. And Clark looks up with genuine, unfiltered confusion. Her exact response captured on camera and now circling every corner of basketball social media. Oh, did I get a technical? Oh, no way. Let that land for a second. She did not know. The reporter confirmed it, and Clark's next words were not an apology. They were not carefully managed PR. They were a masterclass in effortless confidence. It just makes sense for the refs tonight, so I'm not surprised.
Caitlin Clark showed out, man, and then stepped it up defensively in the fourth quarter. They was hunting Caitlin Clark, and she wasn't going for it.
And then that chippy moment with Solana at halftime that led to the double text.
I was just trying. Oh, did I get a technical? You did. Oh, no way. Oh, it just makes sense for the refs tonight, so I'm not surprised. Wow, I could have got ejected. I should have been a little safer in the second half. Okay, well, guess I have some fines coming my way. And a flagrant. Wow. Well, the refs were interesting, but I'm not going to say anything else because obviously I got probably $1,000 worth of fines coming my way, but I was just trying to get the rebound, and I didn't know I got a technical foul, but I think.
Under the WNBA's updated 2026 collective bargaining agreement, the fine structure had been revised upward. A player's first 3 technical fouls carry a $500 penalty each. This was Clark's second technical of the season. Her first had come during a regular season game against the Los Angeles Sparks when she'd argued a call with officials. The flagrant one carries an additional $500 fine, 1 per flagrant point assessed. Total damage for the night, approximately $1,000. Clark's response to that financial reality? She acknowledged it with a laugh and noted she was not going to say anything else about the officiating, because she already probably had $1,000 worth of fines coming her way.
So I don't care who or what happened with the beef. I don't care that Tip Hayes and Caitlin Clark got into it. I don't care who started it. I actually don't care. What Tiffany Hayes has done the last 24 hours, you have to suspend her. You have to suspend her. And I'm being real here. They need to make an example of this. Because I'm sorry, like, is it going to take a Monica Seles situation to happen before the WNBA steps in? This cannot be tolerated. It doesn't matter who this is. If Caitlin Clark did this about somebody else, I'd be calling for Caitlin Clark to get suspended.
While Caitlin Clark was giving her composed, defiant performance inside the Fever's media room, something was unfolding across the building that would dominate headlines for the next 48 hours. Tiffany Hayes walked toward the Valkyries' post-game press conference table. Before she even sat down, before the questions started, before the microphones were formally opened, the broadcast mics were already live. And they caught everything. Hayes was heard saying they're never going to start calling a foul on her. If they did, she would never get to play in the games. She never said Clark's name, but the she was not exactly a mystery. The clip spread instantly. Ex-user UstBarGirlTalk posted the video, and it accumulated hundreds of thousands of views within hours. The internet fractured immediately.
Now let's take a look at what Tiffany Hayes had to say as she tried to throw some cold water on the hot performance of Caitlin Clark.
What? Nope. We gotta get close. Caitlin, you had a career high tonight. What was working well for you tonight?
Sorry.
Good job.
I feel like we did a good job just spacing the floor and attacking them off the dribble. Yeah, getting mismatches. Tip did a great job too of that. I just want to say.
Got a career high. Give me some. That's what's up. What are some of the takeaways we can take from tonight going into next Thursday when we play them again?
Just coming in focused from jump. I think our defense is our bread and butter, and 90 points is too much for any team for us. So I just think we got to go back to the drawing board and fix the little things, because it's literally little things, and it's us. It's no one else. So.
What do you mean it's no one else? You got Caitlin Clark pulling up from the parking lot, okay, pulling up from Baghdad. She's pulling up from all over the place, throwing these laser beam passes. What do you mean it's no one else? Oh, no, it's somebody else.
Indiana fans fired back with receipts. Clark had been called for 5 fouls that night. One fan wrote, "She's mad because they lost and she got 22 points dropped on her." Another, "5 fouls and a flagrant, these people are delusional." But Hayes did not stop there. She took the energy to social media, where she was caught liking posts that many observers described as inflammatory and crossed multiple lines of acceptable fan-player interaction. The backlash was swift, and it was severe. Fans used words like disgusting and unacceptable. One comment read, "There's a fine line between criticizing a player's game and this. Some things you just do not do in sports." Another fan went further. "This is a serious calling for potential danger. Even if the player herself is not the author of a violent action, the people interacting with her could be."
All right, people are now calling for Tiffany Hayes to be suspended over these comments involving Caitlin Clark. And honestly, I think some of y'all are reaching a little bit. Now look, these screenshots are definitely messy. One fan told Tiffany Hayes they were ready to support your crash out after the Caitlin Clark situation. And Tiffany Hayes responded, "LOL, that's fair." Another fan said they were ready to start collections if she got fined. And Tiffany replied, "My peeps." So I understand why people are side-eyeing this, but let's calm down for a second. That is not the same thing as Tiffany Hayes directly telling somebody to hurt Caitlin Clark. There's a huge difference between embracing villain energy online after a heated game and actually calling for violence. And honestly, the phrase crash out is what's setting everybody off here, because in today's internet culture, people associate that with losing control, escalating physically, going too far.
The WNBA, which had spent the entire 2025 and early 2026 season sending warnings to the Indiana Fever organization over various incidents surrounding Clark, now faced a different kind of pressure. The controversy had flipped direction. What had started as a story about Clark's fines had become a story about what her opponents were willing to do and say in response to losing to her. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, the Indiana Fever coaching staff was about to deliver a moment of their own that made everyone stop and stare. This is the part of the story that should be making Indiana Fever front office executives uncomfortable. Later in the same press conference where Clark had delivered her unforgettable response, a reporter turned to head coach Stephanie White. The journalist pointed out that Clark herself had been unaware she received a technical foul at halftime, and asked White whether she had been worried about the possibility of her star being ejected. Stephanie White's answer was jaw-dropping. "I didn't know that she got a technical either," White admitted on camera. "Nobody told us. I thought the officials would have told us."
She didn't know she got the tech at halftime and said she could have gotten ejected. And she said.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Were you worried at all that she would have been ejected?
I didn't know that she got a technical either. So, I guess they announced it, but nobody told us. So.
Pause. The head coach of the Indiana Fever, a franchise player, one technical away from automatic ejection in a tight and physically volatile game against a motivated opponent, and nobody on the sideline knew. Not White. Not the bench assistants whose primary function includes monitoring foul situations and communicating real-time information to the coaching staff. Not a team manager. Nobody. If this story had you locked in from the first second, drop your take in the comments. Do you think the WNBA needs to do more about the environment surrounding Clark, or is this exactly the kind of competitive fire the league has always needed? Is Tiffany Hayes out of line, or is she just the only one willing to say what others are thinking?